So welcome to part 2 of my Hooters Girl video. This part is just gonna go more in depth. My last video kind of was just my makeup and my hair looks for work and what I do before a shift. And this video is actually gonna be giving a little bit of advice and sharing some of my experiences working at Hooters. I was hired at Hooters October 2013, and I will never forget that day because I was broke. Okay, like I think I just quit my other job or something like that. I had no money. I know my mom was tired of me asking her for money, and a friend of mine, at the time, I'm not friends with this girl anymore, but a friend of mine had told me, I think the Hooters by your job is hiring, let's go apply. So I went and I got hired on the spot. And when I had never been to Hooters before that day, literally, like I had never tried the food, and I was talking to the manager. I was like, yeah, I love Hooters. I was lying out my you know what, but I got the job. And I basically got the job because I was just so genuine, like I'm naturally a people person. I like to joke around and talk to people. So I felt like she felt my vibe and she was really into it. And the store that I was originally working at had just closed and reopened. So it was just like starting new. Everybody there, besides the girls that were working at the store before, was new. And most of us had no type of restaurant experience. We had no idea what we were doing. I had never been a server before, and I was like so nervous because I'm like, what if I spill something? I'm so clumsy naturally, so like, what if I spill something on somebody? What if I drop a plate? What if I this? What if I that? That's gonna happen. I guarantee you that's gonna happen. I have dropped plates of food. Like there was a time that I had a table waiting at like 40 minutes for their food, and they were livid because they were hungry and they had a show to catch. And then I finally got the food and I dropped the entire, I think it was like 50 wings. I dropped 50 wings on the floor and they just got up and left. They were like over me. So things like that are gonna happen, but you just have to have a really cool, chill mentality. At the end of the day, everybody comes to Hooters for the experience. You can go to any restaurant, honestly. Like by my job, I work in a very busy, I don't want to say where I work because I don't want any stalkers, but I work in a very busy area and there's so much traffic and there's so many bars and restaurants and like so many places where you can get the same type of food, but people come into Hooters because they want that experience, And being a Hooters girl, as cliche as it sounds, it's an honor, you know what I mean? Like there are hundreds and thousands of girls that come in and apply at Hooters all over the world, and some of them get hired and some of them don't. And it has nothing to do with being beautiful, because yeah, you do have to be pretty. I'm not gonna lie and say that it's not like an image-based company, but I've seen gorgeous girls come in and then I'll ask the manager like, hey, why didn't you hire that girl? And he's like, she didn't really have much of a personality. She wasn't really like a people person, or she was just kind of there for the money. And if you go into a place just to be like, I just want to make so much money, you're probably not going to get the job because you're putting yourself first, and the thing that you need to put first is the guest experience. Like I've had so many tables from all over the world, literally, I'm not exaggerating, all over the world, that come into my store and they'll be like, my country doesn't have Hooters, this is my first time in New York, I would love to take a picture with you, your experience, and you just make them so happy. I've had people ask me to take pictures with their kids. I've had people put me on FaceTime with their family members wherever they're at, and it's just really cool just to see the different types of people that I meet. So it's been a really good experience for me. It's almost 5 years and a few months, and this is my favorite job. This is the best job that I've ever had, and I'm saying that genuinely. No one's paying me to say this, no one is forcing me to say this, and just my honest opinion. Of course, I've had bad shifts. There have been days where I work my butt off and I only come home with a certain amount of money, and it's just like, wow, I really worked really hard and I just had bad tippers all day, or I've had people with really bad attitudes, and it happens, you know what I mean? But at the same time, there are days where I, be honest, give like mediocre service, if I'm having a bad day or like something happens to me at home, and I'll get great tips. So you just really never know, and your experience is based on what you give out to people. you're going to be nasty and rude to people, then you're going to get that energy right back. And of course, there are going to be those guests who, no matter what you do, they're not pleased with their experience. But that's okay, because you know that you gave them the best experience. You know that you gave them the best service, and you're smiling and happy, and you tried your best to do everything and correct everything for them, and they just were miserable. And people in the world sometimes are just miserable, and that's that. I could work at any other job, I could work at any other restaurant, but I've chosen to stay at this restaurant for so long because the opportunities that it's granted me. I was just in the Hooters 2018 calendar. I got to shoot for the calendar, and that was such a fun experience. And then after, you know, revealing who was in the calendar, our managers took us out to dinners and clubs, and it just, you know, it was really cool experience. And I've never experienced anything like that, you know, and just shows that my hard work actually paid off. So that was fun. And I've met like some of my best friends I've met at Hooters. You know, you spend so much time with these girls that like they become your family. I see them more than I see my own family. I work sometimes 7 days a week, 6 days a week, so I'll see them more than I see my parents. But that's because I spend 8-9 hours with them on a shift, and you have a long day and you're like, hey girl, let's go get a drink after work. You go get a drink after work, and you're like, oh, you're free on Sunday, I'm free on Sunday, let's go get brunch. And then you just create a bond. It's really like a sisterhood. And of course, like sisters, you know, you fight with each other. You may not like somebody, and it happens. Not everybody's personality meshes, and it is kind of cliquey. Like you can, when you're the new girl, you can tell like where you'll fit in, where you won't fit in. But I'm lit, so everybody loves me. I get along with everybody at work. I can talk to anybody at work. I don't really have a clique. My best friend works with me, so of course I'm always going to be with my best friend. But I can really get along with anyone. So I feel like if you have a good personality, you can fit in anywhere. And there's going to be some drama. There's people that don't get along with each other. There are people who are dating each other, and best friends who are not friends anymore, and things like that happen. But I try to stay away from all that stuff, because at the end of the day, I'm about my money. My bills are not going to be paid off of these relationships in here. Sorry, unless somebody wants to hand me a couple $1,000s every month, that's cool. But no one will. So I go into work, I make my money, and I take myself home. That's just me. I know people like have had like beefs, and like they don't like to work with each other on certain shifts, or they're dating the same guy. I don't have time for that. Like, that's not my thing. But my best friend actually works with me, and I met her at Hooters. It was funny because she used to work at my old location that I worked at, and she came in to apply, and I usually don't say anything to the new girls that come in to apply. I kind of just like observe and stuff. And my coworker at the time, she was like, oh, that girl's cute. I'm like, she alright. Like, I guess, whatever. She's like, let's go talk to her. I'm like, okay, cool. I went over to her, and then we started talking, and she was really cool. And then it just so happened that her boyfriend at the time was friends with my boyfriend at the time, and then we like kind of did the double date thing, which kind of didn't work out, and we became so close. And now that is my best friend in the whole world. Tasha, hey girl, love you. That's my best friend. I spend every day with her. I see her more than I see anybody else in this world. So I'm very grateful for that. If it wasn't for Hooters, I would have never met my best friend. I have another best friend that I met at Hooters too, and we are so different. Like, I would have, outside of Hooters, I would have never been friends with this girl. First of all, she's like 5 years younger than me, so I already would not be friends with her. I think she was like fresh out of high school when she first started, and she's a tiny little thing. I'm almost 6 feet tall, and she's 4'11", and she's a little Puerto Rican firecracker, crazy. And like, I actually didn't even really like her at first, because she was just like, she's crazy. I get a lot of questions, like DMs from girls that ask me what they should do as far as like preparing for an interview, or why haven't they gotten hired. And my thing is that don't give up. You know, sometimes at the store is just so busy. Like, some people come at the worst times. Like, it'll be like a busy Friday night, and then the girls will come in like, hey, are you guys hiring? And it's just like, this is not the time to come in and apply for a job. Like, weekends would be the worst time to go in and apply, just because the managers are so busy dealing with guests and other things in the store that they don't really have time to give you the attention that you would want in an interview. So I would say come in like a Monday afternoon when it's kind of dead, there's nothing really going on, because they do interviews on the spot, so you can kind of sit there and talk to a manager and just let them see your personality. It is a sports bar, so sports knowledge is kind of impressive to the managers, but it's not necessary. Like, I know girls who have never seen a sports game or anything ever before, and they had no interest, and that's cool. You don't have to. I love sports. I love basketball. I can tell you everything about basketball, but that's just me. Like, I'm genuinely interested, so I would never fake it if I didn't know what I was talking about. And I feel like a lot of people do that. They're like, yeah, I love LeBron James. He's a great Knick. And you're like, he doesn't play for the Knicks. Like, it's cool if you don't know anything about basketball. Don't fake it, girl. We do make more tips than the average server, only because, you know, we wear tank tops and short shorts, and we do our hair really pretty and our makeup really pretty, and we have to go the extra mile and put the effort into our image. This is an image-based company, you know, so we put the extra effort in, and you know, the guys and girls come and they appreciate that. You wouldn't necessarily get that much effort in another restaurant, like whatever, any leading competitor restaurant, because that's not a requirement for them. So they are based on like just service. We are service, image, entertainment, all of that wrapped up in one. So it's just different aspects. I always say, don't get in. I always tell people, I'm a trainer, and when I'm training girls, I always tell them, like, listen, you're not going to make $500 every shift. You might twice or 3 times, but 9 times out of 10, you're not going to, you know what I mean? You're going to have an average day a lot of times, and you can't be greedy about it, and you can't be selfish about it, because if you are, you're never going to make money. You're never going to want to give people like really good service, because you're not getting tipped as well as you have in the past, or as you've had before. So I always just tell people, like, people that want to come in and apply, like, don't think that I leave here with $1,000 every night, because that's not true. Like, yes, I work really hard and I work a lot, so that's why I am able to save my money. I go on vacations all the time. I buy new weave all the time. I'm always buying makeup, clothes, stuff like that. I'm able to pay my rent. I'm able to do a lot of things because I work hard and I give the best service that I can, and that shows in my tips. If you don't work hard and you just come into work and you're just like, okay, cool, like, I'm gonna leave here with $500, you're not. There are a lot of misconceptions about Hooters. Like, even me, before I worked there, I was like, you have to have huge boobs and like a tiny, tiny waist. And that's not true. You have to be able to fit in the uniform and look good in the uniform. You know your body type, you know what you're comfortable in. And if you weren't comfortable in the uniform, then you wouldn't come in and apply. You wouldn't work there. So there are a lot of people that come in and they're like, oh my God, your uniform is, don't you feel? No, I don't feel any type of way. I wear shorts and tank top all the time, summertime. My uniform is bigger than some of the outfits that I wear in the summertime, so I don't feel any type of way. I wear tights we wear tights under our shorts, you know, nothing's showing, so it's like, it only looks different because you're not used to seeing that in any other restaurant. You're used to seeing like black slacks and, you know, collared shirt, and we don't have to wear that, you know. We're a little bit more exposed, you know, when you show your collarbone and you're like, oh my God, she's showing her collarbone. It's not that serious. It's also really hard to have good eating habits because you're around fried food, burgers, french fries, mozzarella sticks, like all day, shakes, smoothies, all this stuff all day. And like, I found myself just like eating really, really, really poorly. So you have to be very disciplined with yourself. Like, I commend all my coworkers that come in with their little Tupperware of like kale. Wait, what is that? I'm like, oh, these are kale chips and acai bowls, and I'm sitting here chowing down on a bacon cheeseburger thing. And don't get discouraged if you don't hear back from them. There is like I believe it's either 30 or 60 days. I believe it's 30 days where if you don't hear back, you can reapply. And I worked at 2 locations. The location that I'm at right now, I worked at another Hooters for 3 years, so I was like, I'm gonna get the job. Obviously, I've been a Hooters girl. I was a trainer. I did all of that. I had an interview with the GM, Scott, and he didn't hire me. And I called my best friend. She had left my old Hooters and went to this one. And I called her. I'm like, why didn't your manager hire me? Like, is he okay? What's wrong with him? She's like, I don't know. He's pretty busy. He's kind of forgetful sometimes. You should come back. So I came back. A couple months later, I reapplied, and then I got the job. And then I asked him, I'm like, Scott, what? Like, I'm one of your best Hooters girls. What made you not hire me the first time? He's like, honestly, I was so busy. You came in and it was just so busy. Like, I probably misplaced your application, or like, you know, you know, I just had so much going on. So like things like that happen. So don't feel like it's something that you said or that you did that, you know, you didn't get the job. Don't go calling the store down every 5 minutes asking if, you know, they have your application or asking if you got hired, because that's really annoying and you won't get a job like that. I would have bought a house by now. Honestly, I could have bought a house by now, had paid it off or something, because I deal with cash every day. You know, I don't have to wait for a check for every 2 weeks or every week, and it's like a great side hustle. I know friends who paid their way through their master's programs, bought brand new cars, brand new apartments. And I know a lot of people that graduated college and still are bartending and working at Hooters, are still doing that because it's such quick, easy money, and it's a great environment to work in. And I'm in school too. I'm in school for marketing, and honestly, I want to work for Hooters marketing and, you know, corporate, because I know the company so well. I've been part of the company for so long, and I genuinely enjoy working. Yes, I have my days where I'm just like, oh, like I don't want to go to work. These people are annoying me. I don't feel like doing my makeup. I don't feel like doing my hair. Like, I have those days, of course. I'm human. But overall, I would not have been working for a company for 5 years if I didn't love it. And I honestly really love it. And I advise all my sexy ladies to go in and apply. Watch this video, get some tips, and go apply. Put your best foot forward, have a great attitude, and don't be fake. Don't have any drama. Leave the drama for your mama. Don't even take the drama out of your life, period. Cleanse your soul. Leave that at the door. Come in, make money, go home, and do your thing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this was very helpful. I do get a lot of these questions all the time, so I figured, why not help my fellow girls out and get a job? And one thing I will say, if you do get hired and you start making good money, please save your money. I should, like I said, have a house and 2 cars by now with all the money. I looked at my bank statements and like my tax papers and stuff, and I'm like, where the hell did that money go? This is where the money went, right here. And like makeup and Sephora and stuff. So don't be like me. Save your money. Get yourself a house by 25, girl. Okay? And when people say, you work at Hooters, really? Yeah, say, yeah, I work at Hooters and I make more money than you, and I'm able to provide for myself and my family. So I feel like people are judgmental. Like, you say you work at Hooters. Even I would. When I was first started out working at Hooters, people ask me where I work. I'm like, a restaurant. What restaurant? Hooters. What restaurant? Hooters. Huh? Hooters. I work at Hooters. Like, oh, cool. Now I'm like, I work at Hooters. I love it. Come visit me. I'll take care of you. And like, people know me as the Hooters girl. Like, I'll have people hit me up like, hey, you working today? I'm gonna come visit you. And that's like a dope feeling. So don't feel embarrassed or ashamed to say that you work at Hooters, because it is an honor to wear those orange shorts. Okay, like Hooters has been featured in movies, magazines, like iconic. Okay, we are iconic, and my store is dope. So go ahead and apply to Hooters Girl. Good luck to everybody. Thank you for watching. I love you. I love you. I'm really annoying with this microphone. I love you all. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you next week.